All right. Welcome to the Legally Blind Journal. This is journal number 59. Take number 2 because I'm blind and hit the record button and didn't realize that I must have hit it twice or something. So I did the whole video and realized I didn't do the video. And the funny part is the second video was 5 seconds long because I guess I did something wrong. Look, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're being too serious in life. And that's one of the things I'll tell you, whether you're struggling with going blind or you're struggling with something else, and we all are, find the joy, man. Literally, if you can't laugh at yourself, you're just being too serious. And it is what it is. So this one might be a little shorter because this is take number 3, and I'm not doing take number 4, and I'm not continuing forever on this. But the summary is that the attempts, the testing that I was doing on Saturdays and Sundays, it worked. Basically, in a nutshell, I'm not pushing my eyes to read or focus heavy by any means. Intentionally, very heavily avoiding that. Not sitting in the corner staring at the wall. I mean, I'm doing my chores. I'm doing the farm stuff, goats, chickens, all that building stuff. Obviously not reading any tape measures, which I'm excited to say about that. It wasn't cheap, but there's a tape measure coming that's a talking tape measure. My mom bought it for me for an early birthday Christmas present because she laughs at me about the way I measure out all this stuff. But at any rate, so maybe my buildings will be a little more square. Maybe not. Who knows? I'm not a carpenter, but yeah, so anyway, you literally just use it like a normal tape measure, but it physically says everything out loud, and that's going to be awesome. I'm so excited for that. But, so went through the Saturday, Sunday, didn't sit in a corner and, with my eyes closed or any of that, but didn't do anything that would cause focus strain, avoided the stores and things like that, and did go to the Big Blue store once, but I went with purpose. Went up to the counter, said, "Here's what I need," in and out, and didn't trigger migraines. Not saying I didn't get a regular headache, but that was dealt with a little bit of ibuprofen, the prescribed dose of ibuprofen, which is good. And alternatively, on the other day, I think I had to leave or something, but that's massive improvement. That said, the trick is obviously during my work week, Monday to Friday, having to use my eyes a lot. I'm getting migraines 5 days a week just from that, and that's as long as, and then there's some days I was triggering them on the weekend stuff. So I'm definitely making the modification on the weekend stuff. Trying not to go to the stores. And if I have to go, I'm just going to be humble about it, suck up my pride and just go straight to the counter. And here's a list of stuff I need. I need help. I can I can't see much of anything anymore. And then that way I can get in and get out and hopefully avoid the migraine trigger from all the shiny stuff and the fact that my eyes try and focus on all the stuff no matter what. And then, so you got to make modifications. Life is about that. You find new ways to do old things. And, the big thing is that, well, you're not going to always feel super happy or great about everything. You can't dwell in that. If you sit in that, you drown in that. You just got to let it hit you, whatever it is. Take a deep breath, shake it off. Find your positive space, find your positivity, and then learn to take breaks, not quit. That's not to say there are things in life you're going to have to change. Yeah, with anything you're dealing with. And at the end of the day, you have to make the decisions that are best for your health. But if you do have to change something, then replace it with something else that gives you joy, that's the big thing. Don't dwell in what you have to change or what you quote unquote lose. Focus on what you gain, or your new way of doing, or your new joy or whatnot. That's probably the biggest thing I can say. And who am I to give advice? I'm still learning and dealing myself, but it's been about a year with this so far, but that's been my biggest thing, I'll say. And, so for the next, going forward here, the next week or plus probably, I'm going to be trying different things to see if we can knock the migraines down to a reasonable level Monday to Friday. I mean, at this point, y'all, if it was 1 day or 2 days, I wouldn't be happy, but I would take it. But every day it's too much. So I'm going to be trying some different things, see if we can get that to come under control, like I've done now with my weekend stuff. Maybe there's a way, maybe there's something I haven't tried yet. So I'm going to be creative and do what I can do and see where we go with that. So if you're struggling with something out there, biggest thing I can say is we all are, period. We all are. You can find a way through it. It's not easy. When I was in my 20s, I got crushed by a forklift. Had to learn to walk again. Basically took about 2 years. And pain for the rest of my life from my knee down. But you know what? I learned to deal with it. I learned to cope with that and just make the best of it. And, went back to school and all this other crap. So my point isn't to say, look at me. My point is to say, look at the fact that you can find a way through whatever you're dealing with. You can find a way through. You may come out of it on the other side different, but the difference a lot of times is heavily up to you and your personality and how you choose to do it. A good example of this, and it's an inspiration, and I don't know the guy's handle. I wish I did, but YouTube has a guy on there now. There's he live feed streams. He's paraplegic, I believe, because from what I can tell, he can only move his head. And he's got special mouthpieces set up, and he live streams. This puts me to shame. I can't live stream anymore. I say can't. Maybe that's the wrong way of saying it. I'm choosing not to. Because people's comments that are coming across, having to try and read those and type back, it's just not worth it to me anymore with my vision to trigger a headache or migraine. But this guy literally is laying in bed, can only move his head and neck, basically, and he's got one mouthpiece that somehow he literally types back to people. He's reading their comments and typing back, and then he comes back over to another mouthpiece, and he's playing fast shooter games. And I'm telling y'all, I watched him for a minute. That man, props off. I wish I knew his handle. I could call him out, but he's playing like Call of Duty games and would put me to shame. And he's not stationary. I guess somehow he's got that mouthpiece set up to where he can switch between different things. He flips through the menus. He runs around, crouches. He shoots. He runs and guns. And I am amazed. And here's the bottom line. He could say, I'm quadriplegic, I think it's the right word. But anyway, he could say, all I can do is lay here and stare at the ceiling and wait to die. And he looks like he's kind of young, like late 20s, maybe early 30s, I don't know. But instead, he's found a new way to have joy in his life. He's found a way to give himself a purpose, and he's live streaming and whatnot. And I'm telling you, he's a straight up inspiration. So whatever you're dealing with, no matter how crazy hard it seems, there's a path for you to be okay. Sometimes it's harder for you to see it. Sometimes it's harder for you to get it. It doesn't mean it's not there. Keep trying to find the path. And I'm going to do the same. And let's pray that this thing recorded this time. Y'all be good out there. Peace.